The Canon Fodder family of the Dream Book male protagonist upgrade. Chapter 1 Dream Book and Awakened College Students. The college student heroine Ji-eun Ruokwan dreamed of the same book for several nights in a row, thick, with a yellowed cover and a simple inscription, Jong Family Ancestral Recipes. There is no sound text in the book, and she can always turn to a certain page, the name of the dish Jeongjijinlian steamed fish, the footnote 100 years of generations. Every writing method is indescribably wonderful. When she woke up, she found that her dormitory classmates were flipping through novels, saying that there was already a male frequency upgrade novel that became popular all over the internet, and her name was the Canon Fodder female supporting Ji-eun Ruokwan in the uninvited novel. The next day, she checked the internet and learned that the protagonist of the novel, Jong Hao, has been upgraded from an ordinary chef to a top chef, and the special help of each level is the Jong Family Ancestral Recipe, and she Ji-eun Ruokwan, along with her parents, brother, second and third uncles, and even her aunt and deceased grandfather, are all Canon Fodder characters in the novel who are destined to be abandoned by him, just because the protagonist ate one of their recipes. She was stunned and felt that her entire family had been spoiled. Chapter 2 Reinventing the family list for the recipe. Ji-eun Ruokwan took his mobile phone and notebook to the library to verify the setting of the novel, and saw that the author of the novel also added in the group chat, the Jong family recipe is divided into 3 volumes, all of which are included by the male protagonist. Ji-eun family? There is a list of Canon Fodder. My grandfather cooks state banquet dishes, but unfortunately he was avoided by the male protagonist in the first place. Your mother, your father, brother, aunt. It's all marks on the menu diagram. The more she investigated, the more afraid she became, because the latest chapter of the novel previewed, Jong Hao is about to hold a large-scale private kitchen display, and he needs to extract the core materials of the recipe from the original author's family. She thought to herself, why is the whole Ji-eun family Canon Fodder? She rushed back to the dormitory and cried to her best friend Ayu. Ayu comforted, if this is really a dream setting, then we will go against the routine and move your parents and relatives in, so that you can change your life against this guy. Chapter 3 The First Touch of Fantasy Reality. That night, she dreamed of the old study at home. In the study, my grandfather's half-life collection of recipes was burned by fire, but there was a fragment page, the above was the steamed fish illustration of the Jong family's recipe. She reached out to rub it, and a touch of golden light flashed, and the pages of the book were memorized by her. After waking up, she asked her father, Dad, your grandfather said that his state banquet recipe is not from the Jong family, did Grandpa copy the one hidden by others? Dad was surprised and said, it seems that there was such an old piece of paper, but it disappeared later. In an instant, she realized that the intertwined threads of dreams and reality were connected, and if she did not act, the entire family line could become the moving line fate in the novel. Chapter 4 Anti-Routine Director, Reversing the Inheritance of Realistic Recipes. Ji-eun Ruokwan decided to take the initiative. She called her second uncle, who lived the farthest away, to ask about her grandfather's relics, a letter from his mother asking for a state banquet recipe. He lent his collection of ancestral recordings to his brother, and they recorded the seasoning and preparation of each dish. She and Ayu planned to shoot a short film program called Looking for the Ji-eun Family Recipe, pretending to produce interviews for local literary and artistic programs. In the film, she and her family tell the history of family cooking inheritance one by one, photograph her father and brother reproducing their cooking skills, and her second uncle imitates the atmosphere of childhood family banquets. Then put it online. As a result, it exceeded 1 million views in just 3 days. The audience left a message saying, it turns out that the recipe is not only the male protagonist who is qualified to eat it all, it belongs to the family and memory. Chapter 5, The Novel's Author's Attention and Plot Reversal. The author of the novel accidentally saw her short film and exclaimed, this Ji-eun family is definitely a good material. Immediately changed the plot in the background group chat and changed the Ji-eun family's recipe line to a cooperative version. Jong Hao wanted to buy the ancestral recipe copyright from the Ji-eun family, pay royalties and publicly pay tribute to the Ji-eun family's grandfather. Ji-eun Ruokwan almost fainted when he saw this revised novel update, from Canon Fodder to cooperative opponent. The contrast was so great that she was starry. But the good times did not last long, and in the next chapter, the author made up for it. The royalties for cooperation are lower than the mainstream, and if the Ji-eun family's income is too small, they will be scolded by the readers of the group of immortals, and they will not change the eyes of heaven. Netizens in the novel angrily criticized the Ji-eun family for selling cheaply, and once marked her as a plot backstabber. Ji-eun Ruokwan instantly became the target of national criticism. Chapter 6 Counterattack Secondary Script, Only Truth is the Material. She took a deep breath and decided to take the third step, to use authenticity as strength. Life outside of literature is more complicated than novels. She found her parents, brother, second uncle, etc., held a family table video gathering, telling that the Ji-eun family's recipes had been used to rescue refugees in rural towns, distributed during summer famine relief, and given to the poor during the spring festival. The video is particularly prominent, Grandpa once said, recipes are not secrets, but testimonies of where the family comes from. After uploading the film clip, it was 3 times more popular than the novel, and it became a true anti-internet drama. Many audiences were moved to leave messages, "This is the beauty of inheritance, not famous." Seeing this, the author of the novel was under a lot of pressure. He quickly wrote an afterword, announcing that Zhang Hao would hold a public recipe exhibition with the Jian family, and donate 10 times the value of the royalties to the Jian Family Cooking Fund and Rural Public Welfare. Chapter 7: The opening of the recipe exhibition and the public canon Fodder reincarnation ceremony. On the day of the launch, Jian Ruoquan took his parents, brother, second and third uncles, aunt, and several villagers to set up an exhibition in front of the old house of the Jian family in the town, displaying all the recipe photocopies, old photos, audio recordings, handwritten notes and state banquet recordings. When Zhang Hao attended, he deeply thanked the Jian family. "Without the ancestors of the Jian family and all your relatives, I would not have achieved all the scenery at the dinner table today." There were countless spectators on the scene, and internet celebrities built buildings live. Jian Ruoquan's parents and relatives were also interviewed by the media, saying, "I never thought of becoming a character in a novel, I can only sigh that truth is the best upgrade material." Jian Ruoquan said in public, "I used to be canon fodder, but my real life will not be decided by a book. If my family only plays a supporting role, then from now on, we will be the masters of our own stories." Chapter 8: The perfect ending and a new era for the family. After the exhibition, a small banquet was held in the Jian family, and Zhang Hao attended and personally made a steamed fish of Zhangjian and Jinlian, symbolizing the cooperation of the recipe and the integration of the two cultures. The elderly and children in the village laughed, and Jian Ruoquan, the center of the crowd, looked at the family members and was full of emotion. She looked at Zhang Hao, and he raised his glass. "To all those who look down on the Jian family, prove that the bones of the Jian family are heavier than the recipe itself." The moonlight was silver that night, and the recipes and real dishes complemented each other. Chapter 9: The Eve of the Storm, the Invisible Enemy. A few days after the recipe exhibition, Jian Ruoquan's family ushered in unprecedented tranquility. The people in the village began to talk about the story of the Jian family, and the media reported it many times, and it seemed that everything was going in a good direction. However, just as she and her family were busy with follow-up cooperation plans, a mysterious phone call broke the peace. "Miss Jian Ruoquan, please note that the forces behind Zhang Hao are not just as simple as you see. The recipe is just an appearance, and the real conflict of interests has just begun." The voice on the other end of the phone was cold and mysterious, and he hung up after speaking, leaving countless questions. Jian Ruoquan looked at the starry sky outside the window, and felt a chill in his heart. She knew that the challenge belonging to the Jian family was far from over. Chapter 10: Undercurrent, Lost Ancestral Secrets. Jian Ruoquan decided to investigate the secret behind the phone call in depth. She gathered the elders in her family to try to dig out more secrets about the recipe from the memories of the older generation. While flipping through her grandfather's old diary, she accidentally found an undisclosed record. In the ancestral recipe, there is a secret taste talisman, which is not a menu or something like that, but an ancient energy code, which is said to change the energy form of the food itself, affecting the fate and body and mind of the eater. Jian Ruoquan was shocked, which was far beyond her understanding of recipes. She began to realize that what Zhang Hao wanted was not just a recipe, but the power contained in it. Chapter 11: Dark Vortex, the struggle of forces emerges. As the investigation deepened, Jian Ruoquan discovered that in addition to the business empire behind Zhang Hao, there was also a mysterious organization secretly controlling everything. This organization is called the Spirit Food Society, and its members are mostly top chefs, ancient book collectors, and occult scholars, dedicated to finding and controlling all energy talismans that can affect food and people. A member of the Spirit Food Society, codenamed Han Mo, has appeared in Jian Ruoquan's investigation clues many times and has an unknown connection to Zhang Hao. This war around the ancestral recipe and its secrets gradually evolved into a secret game between forces. Chapter 12: Lightbringer, an unexpected ally. Just when Jian Ruoquan felt isolated and helpless, a mysterious young man who called himself a spiritual refiner appeared, named Tang Che. Tang Che said that he is a member of the faction in the Food Spirit Society that opposes the abuse of the power of recipes, and is willing to cooperate with Jian Ruoquan to jointly uncover the truth and protect the purity of the family and recipes. After a fierce test of trust, the two decided to walk hand in hand. Tang Che brought an ancient book, which is said to contain the key to cracking the secret of the secret taste talisman. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 13, The Key to Reversal, The Mystery of the Secret Flavor Talisman. Through Tang Che's help, Jian Ruoquan began to study the ancient book. The book describes that talisman paper can not only change the energy of food, but also affect the user's emotions, thinking, and even rewrite part of the fate line. The real power lies in the interpretation and correct use of talismans, not in the simple content of the recipe. Jian Ruoquan realized that the cannon fodder she saw in the past was likely caused by the misinterpretation and abuse of talismans. She decided to unlock the correct code of the talisman and let the Jian family truly control their own destiny. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 14, The Dark Night Decisive Battle, The Family's Fate Choice. The cold ink of the Spirit Food Society sensed the actions of Jian Ruoquan and Tang Che and launched a full-scale pursuit. On a dark and rainy night, the old house of the Jian family became the scene of the decisive battle. Jian Ruoquan used the power of the talisman he had just mastered to launch a fierce duel with Han Mo. After twists and turns, she finally liberated the true energy of the talisman and turned the recipe into a mysterious force to protect the family. Han Mo was defeated, and the spirit-eating society was also divided due to factional struggles. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 15, The Morning Light Reappears, The Beginning of a New Era. After the baptism of the storm, Jian Ruoquan and his family rebuilt their lives, and the recipe became a bridge between the past and the future. The Jian family established the Ancestral Recipe Culture Research Institute to publicly share the history and cultural energy behind the recipes. Jian Ruoquan has also become an authority on the interpretation and application of recipes, leading more people to understand the vitality and spirituality behind food. In the new era, she is no longer cannon fodder in novels, but the master of her own life. Chapter 16, Old Friends and New Enemies, The Drama of Fate Begins Again. Jian Ruoquan thought that the darkest days had passed, but an unsigned letter quietly arrived in her hands. The letter warned her that another secret faction in the Spirit Eaters, the Yu Pavilion, was brewing a larger conspiracy to seize the core energy of the talisman and rewrite the world order. At the same time, her old friend and former best friend Shen Lily suddenly appeared, and her identity became a mystery. Shen Lily supports Jian Ruoquan on the surface, but in private her whereabouts are mysterious and behave strangely. Jian Ruoquan began to suspect that there were people around him who were not as simple as they seemed. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 17, Deep in the Mist, Truth and Betrayal. In order to uncover the conspiracy of Yu Pavilion, Jian Ruoquan and Tang Che infiltrated the secret base of Yu Pavilion. There is a mysterious machine called Chinook Core hidden there, which is said to be able to absorb and amplify the power of talisman paper at great speed. Just as the two were collecting evidence, Shen Lily appeared and revealed her true face. She was actually an insider of Yu Pavilion and was ordered to monitor Jian Ruoquan. But at the critical moment, Shen Lily struggled in her heart and finally chose to help Jian Ruoquan, which led to the miscarriage of Yu Pavilion's plan. This drama of betrayal and redemption made Jian Ruoquan feel complicated, but it also strengthened his determination to protect his family and the truth. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 18, The Storm Rises, Power and Choice. After the conspiracy of Yu Pavilion was exposed, the Spirit Eater Society returned to calm on the surface, but it caused even more waves. Zhang Hao secretly strategized, preparing to use the chaos to seize the energy of the talisman paper and further consolidate the business kingdom. Jian Ruoquan faces a dilemma: should he continue to escape, or should he stand up to meet Zhang Hao's ambitions? After careful consideration, she decided to gather all her supporters and make a public statement exposing Zhang Hao's conspiracy and proposing a correct inheritance plan for the talisman. This public showdown attracted national attention and became the largest spirit-eating war in history. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 19, Echoes of the Earth, The True Meaning of Power. In the midst of fierce public opinion and struggle, Jian Ruoquan and Tang Che found a lost ancient video that revealed the true mission of the talisman, not to control and exploit, but to turn food into a healing and connecting force. She knows that only by returning to the original intention can the talisman truly exert its value. Therefore, Jian Ruoquan launched the new covenant of eating spirits, inviting all relevant forces to sign it, promising to protect the talisman and not use it for personal gain, but to promote the health and harmony of all mankind. This commitment has been widely responded to by all sectors of society. Chapter 20 The End and New Life, the prelude to the final chapter. With the internal division of the spirit-eating society, Zhang Hao's power gradually disintegrated, and Jian Ruoquan ushered in a peaceful life. She is no longer the cannon fodder at the mercy of fate, but has become the guardian and disseminator of recipe culture. She established the Spirit Food Academy to cultivate the younger generation and pass on the spirit of talismans. In the end, Jian Ruoquan held a grand banquet surrounded by everyone, not only to celebrate the rebirth of the family, but also to welcome a bright future belonging to all mankind. Postscript. Fate may be the destined chapter of a book, but the characters in the book also have the ability to pick up the pen and rewrite the ending. Jian Ruoquan's story, from a girl who was written as cannon fodder to a master who controlled her own destiny, her growth is painful and dazzling. Life is like a recipe, each ingredient has a different taste, bitter, sweet, spicy, light, intertwined into a rich taste of life. And true power does not lie in conquest, but in understanding and reconciliation. May we all be like Jian Ruoquan, write our own glorious chapters in the pages of fate.